Hey everyone, welcome back to EVerse Chat. This is episode 3, and this episode is brought to you by my dog Sakala. Why is it brought to you by Sakala? Because we don't have any sponsors yet. And as always, that music brought to you by Saint V. You can check him out on Facebook. Check out some of his mini music videos, some of them featuring some of my cars, or at least one of them. All right, so today we are going to talk about opportunity. We have an interview with a very good friend of mine, Travis Viverette, and it's really, a conversation about opportunity from two very different perspectives, two very different industries, and I hope that you can really pull a lot out of it. For the second half, be sure to stay tuned because I also have a segment on fake business opportunities and what that means. So let's get into it. All right, so we're here with my good friend, my best friend, Travis Viverette of OMX Productions, which is a photography company that I had the pleasure of witnessing starting in Tampa, Florida. We're actually in Houston, Texas, and at our, soon to be first office. We decided to move on from this office, so I'm here helping getting things moved, packed. I have my brother in my other room, and so it's a pretty bittersweet moment, but also a opportunity to talk about opportunities, specifically opportunities that match your personality. A lot of times as an entrepreneur, it's very tempting to take the first thing that you see that, someone waves some money in your face. But what you find is not every single opportunity is and should be for you. So Travis and I are just going to unpack this topic today, and we're very, very different people, which you'll see, and we'll have some fun. So without further ado, here's Travis. Travis, you want to tell us a little bit about yourself before we start?
All right. First things first, hello everyone. My name is Travis Viverette. I go by Travis X. I'm 28 years old, born and partly raised in Tampa, Florida, many other places. Art has always been definitely a love of mine. I started out drawing, and once I grew up, got past drawing, I wanted to get into photography. And when I got my first camera, Kel was there. And I went through so many trials and tribulations, but he helped me get back on the right path so many times. But hopefully today, I hope that everyone can learn something from what my story is and what Kel's story is. And, hopefully we can get some good feedback as well.
All right. So opportunity. So what I mean by opportunity is really what an entrepreneur looks for when it comes to the chance to make money or generate an idea. So as we progress, you will see that I have a very strong passion for those quote unquote business opportunities where it's, pay me $15,000 and I will give you the opportunity to make more money. That's not what I'm talking about. And if you're tuned in for that, then you should probably just hit stop now. And it's not that type of party. But when it comes to opportunities that match your personality, Travis, what do you think is important for someone that's just starting? Because that's mainly who's listening to this. What do you think is important to tell people that are just starting when it comes to looking for opportunities? Should that opportunity match their personality, or is it just the first thing that pops up and then they need to fit that in order to be an entrepreneur?
That's a tough one, because for me it was a little different. I had got some opportunities that didn't fit my personality, and it made me feel weird about it. And I remember telling Kel about these things, and it made me feel uncomfortable to a point that some of them I was really upset about. But the thing about it all in all is that I learned from them. And it helped me, it helped shape and mold me into a better businessman of of learning how to deal with certain things. As number one, keeping your ego to the side and away from business, keeping your emotions aside and away from business as well, if that's the same thing, but there were, some that did match my personality. I was really, thankful for those, but I also, understood that I wanted to get better at the ones that didn't match my personality. I think that's the best way I can always say it, is that you have to be patient, and just allow time to work, on itself. Don't, get upset and don't want to quit so fast. You're gonna have to go through, a little bit of thunder and lightning before you reach sunshine.
So, one question I'm asked a lot, this is primarily from, I would say, parents of students that I mentor, oddly enough, is, how do I know which one to go all in for? Certainly there are lots of opportunities out there, but, how do I know that this is what I should quit my job for, or go part-time for, or sacrifice a little bit of time after work? How do I know that?
I think, again, that's another tough one, because honestly I didn't really start making a lot of money in photography until I actually got fired from my last job. It was kind of funny. I got fired on my day off, which seems like it's the most hilarious thing you ever heard. But it put me more into a grind mode. The thing is that opportunities do come and go, but you never know which opportunity is the best opportunity. So I would say go hard for every opportunity that you get. Put your all into it, 100%. That way, at the end of the day, if they're not satisfied with it, you be satisfied with it because you gave your all.
What do you think about people that are very risk adverse? There are some people out there that, especially in my space, which is healthcare. You have pharmacists, you have doctors, you have nurses, people with licenses to lose if they go all in with every single one and they catch a bad deal. So what would you say for people that are, well, I don't want to say timid, but have a reason to be timid? What about for those people?
I think that it's also very necessary that, and I forgot to mention this, you need to protect yourself at all times. I was just talking to Dwayne about a deal that I'm working over, and one thing that I didn't do in the past was contracts. And I started doing contracts some years ago, because there were a lot of deals I got burned on too, but I still, because I'm true to my craft, I want to do what I, want to always give 100%. For certain people, it may be different. Like you said, they have, licenses and things like that that may be at risk. So you need to do your research. You need to do everything that you can to make sure that you test the water before you absolutely fully jump in. And that's why I have contracts now. And I like to do conference calls or meetups and, make sure I understand who, or know the person I'm dealing with or the company.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I'm sure anybody that knows me can attest that my first bit of advice is always what was in your contract. And I think that for those that are a little bit hard-headed, you'll learn. You definitely need a contract. The gentleman's handshake, or the lady's handshake, whatever you want to call it. It only goes so far, and it will always betray you. I understand that there are definitely some cultural situations where you don't want to present a contract right away, but you really need to evaluate, is that right for you? Is that a environment where you can navigate? I hope Travis doesn't mind if I share this story, but there was a fairly recent event where his contract kind of saved his butt in a small way. It needed a non-refundable clause in there, and sadly you have people that will try and take advantage of that will that don't value your craft, whether you are a photographer, whether you are a freelance writer, whether you're a doctor. It really doesn't matter. One thing that I've learned that I still struggle to accept is that not everybody has the best of intentions. So finding opportunities that match your personality, it is very important to know yourself. I think, and Travis, you can tell us, is there a point where you're starting out that you kind of have to take a step back and say, whoa, I know what I want to do, but who am I? Is that something that you can expand on?
Yeah, most definitely. Again, I spoke to Kel so many times. Every time there was a situation, it was like almost every shoot in the beginning, it was like I had to take a step back, and it was like I couldn't get the formula right, basically. And I kept going about it until I got it down pat. If you don't understand, it's almost as similar to being in a relationship. You got to know yourself, and know what you'll put up with, and know what what you can handle. Because if you don't, then you'll take on some jobs, or some things that you're not going to be comfortable with, and it's going to blow up in your face in the worst way.
Okay, well, there we have it. I like to keep these sessions very short, to give people time to really think on, meditate, or just give me some silly comments about what they thought. So if you have any questions, Travis will be on a few different episodes since I'll be out in Houston for a while. So if you have any questions for Travis, go ahead and put those in the comments, and we will be looking for them. I guess that kind of depends on when you comment, so do it now, and maybe he'll answer you. You can also check him out, OMX Productions. That is OMX Productions on YouTube. Just type that in. Twitter, same thing, and Instagram, OMX Productions. I keep wanting to say OMG. Yeah, but check his work out. It's pretty awesome.